On my YouTube today is posted a video of the new place, showing also the cat. Filmed February 12th. Today is July 12th, 2025. Here you can really see how, well, it's everywhere around the apartment, but it's worse in the bathroom, how the painting is incomplete. And everywhere in the apartment, it needs another coat. That's visible. You don't need to be a professional, you just need enough lighting. But you can also see that the coat that is there is unevenly done. And of course, he started doing sanding, but you can tell also he didn't do all the sanding. He did maybe 10% of the sanding that needed to be done for a good job. So here, for example, you can tell that layer, is the bathroom here, you can see. And I've shown this before, right? And then the video of today actually shows the water leakage from the corrosion. I did put duct tape because it really got to shooting hard. Now they might say, why don't you let us come in and do it? Well, it's too late. And why didn't it get done before? But why didn't also their representative, which they don't take responsibility for, is, hey, stop it. Just a minute, I'm filming a video. Stop it. And no attacking this. Is their representative never should have been hired, but also should not have passed the probation period. But there's also the fact that, I made a win-win agreement with him because this was not worked on for the longest time. Part of it is he had a lot to do and he didn't know how to manage his own time or not distract himself or not allow others to distract him. And he also never fixed a solvable problem on his truck, so he's taking a bus. But also just wasn't good at interacting with people. So when we did a win-win scenario, the win for me was to have housing to help reduce my medical issues. But of course here has never been, partly the building, partly the city, safe water or consistent availability of water, still an ongoing issue. And water is important for health, and never had that flowing water in my motorhome. So that was the win part for me. The win part for him is I was helping him with his job when this place was available for so long, but he never finished it or would just do a little bit at a time. But the way he worked actually made him probably go backwards more than forwards. It was so messy in here, it became one of his storage places where he had to step over everything, and it was so messy and unhealthy to work in. So people might say, well, you're lucky you have this place. Well, I worked to get this place and I didn't get paid. And also I would have done more, but the person didn't know how to stop being abusive. So when you give warning and you give even solutions, let's not show up at the same place to do work at the same time. We can't be here at the same time. We can't. Something that I avoid the older man that returned as landlord here too, because, he's friendly enough, but if he has a bad day because he doesn't have any management skills, self-management either, then there's a limit to how much my intelligence will be insulted before I kind of say that's enough, from people. And of course, if I don't defend my human rights, then I'm a hypocrite, like the norm. I hurt myself. I become a co-oppressor. So I have to defend my human rights, even if it means that, this place never got finished enough. Look at all the tape that I don't want to take out. I managed to get a screen, even though I asked for one, just because they were working on another apartment. And I said, can you call the guy and see if I can get a screen? So I have 2 screens now. But I mean, there's no light that's been installed there. I wasn't left with the right size for the plug cover. And I've asked many times, I would like to continue painting at my own pace. I just don't want to pay for the paint. And the guy says, no, even if you give us a receipt, I'm not sending it in. So I don't know if he ever sent in my offer to work here part-time. Because even the people that clean, I can see you can't go up and down these stairs without seeing, I don't know what they consider cleaning, which is maybe a sweep, that's it. But really, I mean, the walls, the baseboards in the common areas are so, I don't even think they get done once a year. So the standards are very low, right? And the arguments often come down to that between either landlords or tenants or just staff or whatever, is people are not at the same level of standards. Now, who should set standards? Well, owners. So that's who should be blamed. So I'm going to be writing a letter this weekend and printing it either myself if I can or at the library and send it in to the landlord, with a tracking number, and saying, well, I would like my rent to reflect 30% of my income, which is this, which should be this. And I should still get Transition Society because I've had to cancel things like internet, and I can't afford a phone either. And really, I'd like to purchase tenants insurance at this point because I did buy some furniture, and a lot of what I bought that's not cheap is these floor mats, and it's to help reduce the chances that the floor tiles will lift up because they were not installed properly. And the guy eventually admitted in the past week, yeah, he should have removed the linoleum floor before putting that. That's why it moves and they disconnect, even if he did or did not put glue or clean the floor properly before installing them. But even the installing part, you can see like he didn't make it all the way to the edges properly, to the baseboard and things like that, right? He wasn't really a thinking person. So I'm still grateful. I'm so grateful to be here compared to the last few years and compared to people I've met in other countries. I'm grateful for this. But if I go to a university program, yeah, I will want them to come in and redo things, especially if they try to not lower the rent and they make me fight for it. The only two arguments I'll use, and there are many I can use, is the unit's not finished and it's too big of a percentage of the rent of my income, especially as compared to a couple of blocks away. When they get bigger, more of their own things like washer dryer, and for a lesser price. Plus, there's people here in the building that have a one bedroom instead of a bachelor, and they're still at a lowered rate from the past. And in the past, the internet was included for everybody with previous owners, but they also pay half. Some of the people that have been here a long time. So am I going to stay here 30 years, which I don't want to stay in this city, another year? And then maybe 750 or close to it will be good in 10 years or 30 years? No, I don't want that. I don't want to wait for the future when I know I'm unhappy now and I know I deserve better. And I know that they could have done better, and that includes by getting my help to do it.